quick follow-up on the whole cyberpunk thing. I was just looking for another book for another video, and guess what I found? I found the new version of Cyberpunk, which no longer has a year. It's just version 3.0. This is the one that had the really terrible artwork, I guess you could call it, pictures inside. For those of you who don't remember or didn't see it before, I was looking forward to the new Cyberpunk game forever, really, because it was seriously like I can't remember when the last edition was, but it was around 1990 when the last one came out, and they spoke of cellular phones as if they were some kind of mythical device that a phone you can carry with you. My God! But yeah, I get this version, and there was a version after 2020 called Cyber Generation that I hated because it kind of became this almost cartoonish version of itself. It was already kind of cartoony, but it became this thing where you had to choose a gang, and the gangs were really silly, and I didn't like it. It kind of took it away from it being like this dark, grim, I call it grimdark, actually, kind of setting where I'm very emo that way. I like the darker settings, but it kind of took that and just kind of became like a shoot 'em up, and I didn't like that. Which you can easily play any of those games as a shoot 'em up, and maybe it was intended to play that way. But anyway, the book, it was an immediate. I couldn't believe it when I saw this book because the pictures in it, their attempt to be clever was they used dolls. They used dolls and dressed them up and modified them with like cybernetic parts and like freak show hair to look like cyberpunk characters. And if there's a part of you that thinks that might be in any way cool, trust me, you look at this and you just it's head book, over and over again. Even now I'm looking at this picture, I can't believe it. I may actually scan some of these, but I think the camera will be able to pick some of them up. And if you'll excuse this video, it's going to be one of those Spoony just reads a book for you. But you can see they put this really ridiculous coat on the guy. There's this guy with this kind of freaky hair going on, and it's dolls. That's all it is dolls. And I can't believe it. And the entire book is in this. It must have been a money thing where they print it up in this green. So not only is it, I guess the green tinting actually saves it, because if it was in full color, it would look even more ridiculous. But it's like somebody went to a Michael's craft store and bought up those little nude dolls, and then I guess they made the clothes. Whoever made the clothes, for the most part, did a pretty good job, I guess, for dolls. But I don't know where they got the freaky like Tina Turner wig, and they got little goggles, and I think these are Legos. Like the guy's cybernetic arm, I think those are like converted Legos. So honestly, the craftsmanship is okay. It's just you take a fucking camera this close to the toys, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They just look stupid. Let me see. Cultural warfare. Yeah, this is the list of the kind of clans that you have to choose. You're still kind of restricted to being punks in a gang, which I get, but I still don't like it. So I'm just gonna show you a bunch of the pictures that I saw that just made me. I can't play this game. I can't. It's so stupid, and this is something that I'm hung up on, and it is completely wrong of me. I will admit that right off the bat. But have you ever seen a game that you know for a fact is good, and everyone tells you that it's good, or a comic or something, some kind of entertainment where you know it's good, you're willing to concede that. In fact, you're willing to concede that it's great, but the art style is so terrible, so bad, that you can't even look at it. You're like, I hate it. I hate the art so bad, and it's not fair. I admit that it's not fair, but I hate it. Actually, Final Fantasy IX. I know everyone. I just heard the internet take a collective gasp of fear. They're like, you don't like Final Fantasy IX? No, it's not that I don't like it. I'm sure it's great. It's just I hate that art style. It's horrible. It's horrendous how bad that art style is. I don't get it. I don't get how the game's great. I have played I've played for like 4 hours, which was I was like, this game's really good, and I'm gritting my teeth, going, oh, I hate this guy, I hate the furries, I hate everything about I couldn't take it. Um, and this is exactly like this. I honestly cannot tell if this game is good or not. In fact, I know the book is very well written for a fact. I know this because it's extremely well researched, and by researched, I mean this book really does go the extra mile to immerse you in the whole cyberpunk literature and movies and stuff like that, which is actually kind of intimidating. It's a steep hill to climb when you want to know what's good. I think really the only person people might know as an introduction into cyberpunk is William Gibson, like Neuromancer and stuff like that. But all through this book, it's got little sidebars that explain things, that tell you specifically like music, movies, books, comics that you should read that are good introductions to the kind of feel and how to get into cyberpunk. So there's, oh my god, and they recycle the same pictures. Well, okay, not the same pictures, but okay, later on. Here, look at this header. It's a different picture, but it's the same guys. So there was literally a guy in front of this little postcard with a background on it, or like a little photo, or even a TV, I don't know. And he had this group of like 7-8 dolls, and he was just like playing with them and taking pictures. That was the artwork for this book. And this, seriously, like, they put so much. I don't know if this was a lot of work or no work at all. Like, maybe somebody made clothes for this thing, and then they have a little motorcycle. He has a little. They bought a little Hot Wheels motorcycle or something like that, and they put the bald guy on it. Oh my god! On its face, this is the same book as Cyberpunk 2020. And honestly, there are illustrations. Like, I mean, this is basic, but it's functional, and well, that's probably not a good example. It's actually really shitty. Then they do things like this. You've got, this is at least an effort where it's the doll, but then they added like a Photoshop filter to it. So they must have like, they solarized it. I think that's the term for this. Is they solarized the picture of the doll. Net running, the decking is still terrible. I mean, it's well designed. It's not terrible. It's well designed. In fact, it's really tight. When I was reading it and I ran through kind of sample adventures with it, I mean, if you're running it on its own, it's actually really good because there's a lot of intricacy and a lot of fun organizing. You have this kind of roster. You have memory units in your head that you can fill with programs, and you can do a lot of really cool things with those programs. And there's things called demons. Demons that run other programs. So you can fill the demons with various attack software, and it helps you save space, but the programs inside the demon are less effective. So you can have like 3 programs inside one demon and they all work, but they're a cluster, but then they don't all work as well. So it's all really cool, but again, with decking, it just doesn't work in the context of having an adventure going on. Some of these pictures are okay. Like this one, it's only when they really mask it with a lot of effects and blurs that you can't tell that it's just dolls. You can still tell this one, but at least, again, this is an effort of the guy getting shot in the balls with a laser, like right in the balls. Man, that is just suck. There's a lot of pictures in here. There's some in particular. Oh my god. Same doll. They got a little truck. They bought dolls and little miniature trucks. Here's another example of something that's actually really well researched, and they put a lot of effort into the setting design. And I know that's just a picture, but they released entire separate books. There's one called Night City, which is the established setting for the game, and it's really well done. And the downside is that's like the only setting for Cyberpunk, which is weird considering, although I think they did do books. There's an entire kind of class of people called nomads, which they really run around like in the outside of the cities. It's like Mad Max out there, and I'm not going there. Don't worry about it. But it's like Mad Max out there, and so. But I think maybe they did a book, some kind of nomad book. But even then, it was like you start running with nomads, and then everyone else is like the Decker is standing around, go like, is there Wi-Fi out here? No. So, oh my god. There's a dead little doll. I can barely see it, so I know you won't be able to, but maybe. There's a picture of this guy. He's got a gun, and there's a dead guy on the ground there, and his head's gone, and there's like a little spray of white blood on the ground where his head used to be. So he blew this guy's heads off. Now I'm kind of amused by this, but it's still not like, ooh, this game's gonna be so dark and intense, and it's gonna be. This is gonna be like basically what I was looking for with Cyberpunk was like this really hopeless kind of it basically World of Darkness, but with cybernetics and stuff like that. That's why I like that. It's not that I like games that are hopeless. It's that I like games that are not hard to explain, not stacked against the players, but yeah, a little bit, where they have a lot to overcome, where there's a lot of heroism inherent in being dealt a really bad hand and being forced to overcome it. So I always like it in a way. It's like Star Wars, where you've got this evil empire. It's this huge monolithic shadow that just is cast over everything, and it takes a lot of courage to overcome that. And so when you've got something like Cyberpunk, you've got the world is dominated by these corporations, and the entire concept of Cyberpunk is to basically these guys are like anarchists, and they're trying to overthrow the status quo. And I like that theory. I like that idea, and it gives people a goal. You'll notice I always like that when it comes to adventures, and I've said this before, like when you make a character around me, I want you to write up at least one long-term goal that you're striving to, because in D&D oftentimes there's not a goal. It's just very open-ended. A lot of characters are just like, I exist to seek my fortune, and I'm like, that sucks. Nobody does that. Not really. Even characters who seek their fortune are seeking it for a reason. It's not just to have money. That's why I like goals. And so in Cyberpunk, there's a very clear goal, or not clear, but there's a general goal in kind of like opposing the man. That's pretty much the goal, and I'm fine with that. Now, I do suggest having a more specific goal, even if it's something as simple as vengeance, but you know what I mean. So that's why I like this game, and the dolls, just to me, completely undermine it. This is the best one, to me. You're going to love this one. Okay. I'll just, without comment, for now. Can you believe this? It's a naked woman doll that has a bandolier of bullets covering her boobs. And I know what they were going, this is like, it's like the Chromebooks. You remember the Chromebooks where it has like these either cybernetic ladies or like full body conversion ladies that are like all chromed out, and like they're like, there's one that has like pink lingerie, but her body's entirely chromed, and like the lingerie, it's like a pinup model where the lingerie is like just coming off her titties, and so like she's all sexy, and you're like, wow, that's kind of it's weird, but it is kind of sexy, where you've got like this cybernetic lady with metal titties. I don't know, whatever, but it was like, it looked like something like a modeling catalog might look like if there were cybernetics. And here we've got this attempt at titillation of like, they wanted to put this on the cover, and so you've got, she's wearing, look at this, she's wearing little panties. She's wearing this must be like a Barbie doll they converted, like whatever the Latina Barbie is. They do a little bandolier of bullets around her, and yeah, they just stripped a Barbie doll naked. They're like, Larry, what are you doing? Are you playing with your dolls again? No, Mom, I'm taking pictures for my new RPG. But all the dolls are naked. Shut up! It's for the equipment chapter. The cybernetic underwear. God, look at this. But this is where I'm talking about. This is my favorite chapter of the book. It's the life path. Were you even looking at that? When I showed this to you, we were like, oh, that's the life path chapter. That's where you roll up your character background. I always love that, where it sounds silly, where like I'm like, you really need to plan your character with a goal, but I love random background generators. I do, because it actually, the random background generators, while sometimes, in fact, oftentimes, they may come up with something really ridiculous, can spur inspiration. So I don't I like rolling them randomly, but I'm then like, just pick and choose what you like. If it inspires you, like, just throw out the things that don't make sense, because a lot of it doesn't make sense. Throw out that stuff and then come up with something that inspires you, because oftentimes you get something that it starts off like really weird, but then you're like, yeah, no, that works. But so this is like really revised and expanded upon, where no, it's like 6-7 pages of, it's basically the same chapter, but it's awesome. But all you're looking at is this really stupid and cheesy and actually kind of disturbing naked Barbie doll with a bullet bandolier strapped around her titties, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And this blows my mind, because here's another one. It's like there's the little doll with a mohawk, and I'm actually really curious how they did this. I'm sure there's a person who's really, his feelings are really hurt now, because he's like, I put a lot of effort in this shit. I'm sure you did. And actually, as far as dolls go, they're great. But like, the craftsmanship is there, but this is not. This is not illustrations. There's one playing a guitar. I'm sure there's. I only flipped through this generally, so I'm. Oh my god, it's just the same one with a mohawk. Except he's at a little laptop. They found a little laptop for him. This is so cute. And he's actually got a little newspaper, and he's banging his fist against. He's like, the fucking Cubs lost. And just, They found little guns. Oh wow, that's actually kind of cool. They found a little doll with a sword there. See that? I'm actually kind of impressed now. But yeah, it's every time you see a picture, it draws your eye, and you're like, oh, oh my god, what the fuck is that? Is that a hooker? Look at this. Look, new Cyb. What the fuck is new Cyb? Want a cyber arm first by cutting off? Oh, I didn't like this. This is what they started doing when like they wanted to kind of update the notion of cybernetics. So like they call it new Cyb, which is kind of something that you don't replace. Like let's say you want a cyber arm. In the old days, you used to cut off your arm and they graft the new one. And now they do this thing where like they leave your arm, but then they put like a bracer on there. Basically, it's like a cuff. Like you sheath your arm in the metal, and it's like it does the same thing. So it's like if you want super strength, you put a little bracer on, and you get super. And I'm like, that sucks. You know, that's fuck your new side. Shadowrun did stuff a lot like that, where it kind of updated cybernetics, but it did it in a way where it had its own unique costs. BioWare, and this had BioWare kind of, but not like Shadowrun did. Shadowrun did this a lot better. And it actually did things like various grades of cyberware that had less humanity cost, but were like exponentially more expensive. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't like this. This is different, and I don't like things that are different. But this was really bad and different. But yeah, I think this is a hooker. Look, you're like, okay, there's this really stupid doll, but then she's got little metal legs. So like she's a hooker who replaced her legs with metal legs. So you can fuck with her with her. You can fuck her with her metal legs. Yeah. So there's that. Oh my god. See, now I'm not even. This is what happened. I'm not even interested in the fucking. What is this? Is this like? I don't even know who this looks like. Freddie Mercury. Look at. He's got the fucking glass, and his arm sparkles. Is that supposed to be Johnny Silverhand? You probably don't know who Johnny Silverhand is. He's like the big rock star character in the setting of Cyberpunk. I wonder if that's supposed to be Johnny Silverhand. Probably not. But he's got like a sparkly jazz hand, and he's like combing his rock star hair. He's actually got like very 1980s hair metal hair. It's all feathered and shit. He looks like he's from Cinderella. His motorcycles. Cyberpunks on motorcycles. Yeah. Oh my god. That one actually has a kind of a cool pose. Oh, hang on. What the fuck is this? Look at it. Tell me if you can tell what this is. This is where the doll thing really goes. Oh, I actually looking at it on the screen is a little clearer, but it's like Apparently, it's like a naked doll that's just all chromed. Looking at it on the page from here, it's actually really hard to tell. But this is... I know, this is really interesting, right? It's killing me. Guys, find an artist. This sucks. Well, there's more on the back. There's a bunch more on the back that I'll show you as the last one, because these are really funny, too. We're almost done. Oh, this is an action scene. This is a scene where there's a Mohawk guy, and he's punching a guy, and he's falling, and he's got his fist out there, and he's like, boom, and it's just caught in the middle of the action. I actually printed out the errata on this book. I was like, I don't even think I read it. I must not have, because I was like, I want to see. They must have fixed. What did they fix? Gear. They just fixed the prices for. They fixed a few damage codes and equipment. So whatever. They got a little toy skeleton. It's not as cool as you'd think. Oh, that's supposed to be in... No way. Okay, this is the chapter on Trauma Team. Every Cyberpunk game has something called Trauma Team, or what's it called in Shadowrun? It's like... it's some kind of like rapid response ambulance team. And what you do is you have like... There's like 3 levels of membership. And what they do is it's like... they come in, they have like helicopters or flying cars, and it's like an ambulance. So no matter where you are, if you're a member of it's right on the tip of my tongue, like Medivac or something like that. I don't know. A dock wagon, that's what it's called. And so, like, if you're a standard member and like you get shot up and you're about to die, you can call a phone number. You get your cell phone, you call a phone number, and then they come and get you. So, but depending on your membership level, you pay yearly fees. The better your membership, the faster they come and get you. And the harder they come and get you. So if you're a standard member, they'll be like, yeah, please stand by, we'll be there in 5 minutes. And they'll be there in 5 minutes if the LZ is clear. Now, if you're a platinum member, like if you spend a shitload of money on the membership, they guarantee within like 3 minutes or less, and they will clear the fucking LZ for you. So like if you're in the middle of this huge firefight and it's some kind of gang war going on, they will fucking bring the thunder. But they'll only do it, like, you can't abuse it. Like if they start to suspect, or it's clear that you're abusing their firepower to win battles and stuff like that, they'll revoke your membership. It's only like if you're in deep shit and you need to be pulled out of there, they'll come and get you. So that's Dockwagon. So there's a chapter on Trauma Team that. And if I hadn't seen the title, I would think this guy is stealing his wallet. In fact, I still kind of do. Because it's not Okay. This is the picture. It's not clear at all that this guy has been hurt, or like he's dying or bleeding, because there's no blood, and that would look fucking silly, right? The blood. But there's this guy on the ground, and then there's some guy who's like frisking him. And I'm like, is he taking his wallet? It looks like he's taking his wallet to me. I think he took his wallet. And then look at, who is this guy? He's not a doctor. He's not like a paramedic. He's like, it looked like he's wearing Chris Jericho's ring jacket. Like it sparkles and shit. I don't know what this is supposed to be in his hand. Look at his hand right there. What is that? I don't know what the fuck that is. So you got all these clothes, and you couldn't find something like generic and like laughably generic to point out that this guy is a doctor or a paramedic, like a lab coat or something like that. You couldn't have like a really obvious like stethoscope. Is that what it is? No. I don't know what the fuck that is. But they got little camo pants, but they couldn't come up with a paramedic. Like, no, I've got one. My first Dr. Insano gear was like this little blue set of scrubs with a cheesy like red plus on it, because he's like I covered that up because he wasn't supposed to be a paramedic. But yeah, he's got a little red plus on his jacket or something. Fuck. Oh, this is... I'll show you the second one. This picture. This is helpful. Thanks. This clears up everything. It's a picture of a guy's torso about to run into the camera. What the fuck is this? That's nothing. It's a this is a part this is the part of the chapter that's on cosmetic surgery. Okay, so here's one of my favorites. This is actually, I can tell they put a lot of effort into this, and so in fact so much effort that I wonder why they didn't use this more. Look at this. This is a guy with the Wolverine claws. This is something that everyone in Shadowrun ever would make, at least once. Like, everyone did this. There's no shame in it, because it's cool. But everyone would make a Street Samurai, or a Solo in this game, that had the fucking Wolverine claws. Because that's common in every book. That snicked. Everyone wanted to do that, and everyone did it. They call them, like, hand razors in the book or whatever, but you're like, no, it's Wolverine claws. And so everyone wanted to be a guy to pop the claws and go in there, and of course, it was a really valid way to fight, because, you know, there's guns, but you can cut the fucking gun in half, and there you go. That's an awesome picture, though. We're running out of space. What is that? I can't see it. Hang on. What the fuck is that? Is that like a... I'm reading the chapter, because this is a chapter on heavy weapons. Grenade launcher, missile launcher. It looks like a robot dog. I got nothing on that. Really nothing. Is it a face hugger? What is this? It may be. Actually, it may be. No, it's a jellyfish. I forgot. There's sometimes I don't actually know if this is a character class. Probably not. Sometimes corporations will do things called bioforms, where they'll cybernetically modify like animals. So, and there actually is like there's like an underwater like surfer clan that swims around, because there's a lot of corporate stuff that takes place offshore. So these guys are like really good at driving speedboats and shit. So like, yeah, there's gonna be like cybernetic attack dolphins and shit. Actually, that sounds kind of scary, because dolphins is smart. So, oh, here's another sexy picture. This is not the same chick with the metal legs, but she's posing all sexy with like some kind of gun, like a big fucking gun. And I'm like, oh, that's hot. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go beating it like I did to the Chrome girl on the. Yeah, sure. That, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's Bane. Here's Bane. Yeah. This is the guy with the fucking... Okay, that's it. Alright, so we'll close out by... Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so there's one picture I want to show you that we didn't see elsewhere. And then I'll show you some of the... Okay, this is the back cover. This is immediately... Like, I don't know why I even bought this book, because right away you can see... I guess I just didn't believe that the whole book would be this way. You think you're ready. You're not. You don't have a clue. Well, there's a picture of that guy. He's in his old action pose, and there's, you know, we've seen this one. And then they put this on the back. This. They put this on the back. Like the most... Well, okay, the third most unhelpful picture in the whole book. Just some guy, like a third of some guy, just wedged in front of the camera with no sense of composition, no context. I know dick about photography, and I don't... this is such a mistake. Why that picture? Why not the guy with the fucking Wolverine claws? Look, okay, it looks stupid, but this is one of the cooler pictures, and it illustrates, like, what you can expect. Like, hey, if you play Cyberpunk, you're gonna be a punk with, like, metal arms and shit. But, like, you gotta carry across the fact that, like, let's say I'm completely new at this. I've never seen this before in my fucking life. And I'm like, well, what's Cyberpunk? You wanna, like, this is Cyberpunk, man! Like, I'm not even, like, hey, forget the dolls, but, like, if you're gonna show something off, show off the fucking Wolverine claws. Out of your mind? Hang on. You know what? I can find, there's someone responsible for this, and I'm gonna find out how. Or who. How. Authors. Here we go. Let's see. Typography, layout, and design. Mike Pondsmith, who also wrote this. Is that the guy who's responsible for this? Looking for photographer. Playtesters. Editing, typography, layout and design, cover and illustrations. Here we go. No one took credit for this, but it's Frozen Marvel Design. Right there. Frozen Marvel Design. I'm gonna Google these guys. I'm gonna find out who did this, and I'm gonna talk to them, and I'm gonna find out like if they asked for this, or this was their idea, or like this was the $49.95 illustrate my RPG book option. We're like, we got a guy with some dolls and like. Well, it's pictures. How about one with like some guy's torso in front of a blurry picture that the shirt is open and that's cyberpunk. Like you couldn't even have some like cybernetics on this fucking like some like a metal chest or like cyborg diodes going in. But yeah, I just flipped past it. But there's so much in this that actually is interesting. It defines a lot of like Japanese terms, like kind of like giri and things like yakuza terms like, for respect and stuff like that. It tells you it's actually kind of interesting, if not for the recommendations for science fiction-y books, music, and movies alone. It's that good, but it's not something you can't find. Yeah, so there's pages of books that you can read that are good. And honestly, this is the best. That's the best part of the book to me, is because of course, it's got half of this book is Blade Runner. The Barbie murders. Oh, so that's where they got the idea for the pit. Oh, the Barbie murder. I love that book. Let's fill our whole cyberpunk book with Barbies. Yeah, there we go. I might actually start reading some of it. I read this book, Heavy Weather. Schismatrix. That sounds cool. Diamond Age. I read that one. Oh, they got everything Neil Stephenson wrote up until he started sucking. Snow Crash. John City Come a Walkin'. I read that one. Anyway, Scanner Darkly. Okay. Pretty much everything Philip K. Dick ever did. Yeah. Makes sense. And they even give Amazon links. Good luck typing those. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this very puzzling look into the layout and design of Cyberpunk version 3. Find somebody on DeviantArt for version 4 if there's ever going to be a version 4, because you guys need help. Until next time.